The man in the forest, a reclusive man, haunted by a past tragedy, seeks solace and meaning within the depths of a mystical forest, only to find himself confronted by echoes of what he left behind. Weathered, quiet, with a deep sadness in his eyes. He moves with purpose but carries a heavy burden. Young Lily, Seven Elias's daughter, ethereal and playful in memory/vision. Sound of sirens, a jarring reminder of the past. A dense, ancient forest. Moss-covered trees, winding paths, a secluded cabin, a hidden clearing with a single, unusually vibrant flower. A brief, stark contrast. A minimalist, sterile hospital room. Flashback. Runtime estimate, 12 to 15 minutes, allowing for slow pacing, scenic shots, and character beats. EXT. Forest. Deep morning. Day 1. Sound of birdsong, rustling leaves, a distant woodpecker. The forest is alive. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, dappling the forest floor. Dust motes dance in the light. Elias, dressed in practical, worn clothes, walks with a measured pace. He carries a small, well-worn backpack and a long, sturdy walking stick carved with simple, elegant patterns. His eyes, though tired, observe everything. The curve of a branch, the pattern of moss on a stone, the way the light catches a spider web. He pauses, tilts his head. He hears something faint, almost a whisper, carried on the breeze. He scans the trees. The air feels different here, cooler, cleaner, almost ancient. The path is barely discernible, winding deeper and deeper. The trees grow thicker, older. EXT. Small cabin. Morning. Day 1. Sound of gentle stream nearby. Elias arrives at a small, rustic cabin, tucked away in a natural clearing. It's built from rough-hewn logs, with a stone chimney. Smoke curls lazily from it. A small vegetable patch, neatly tended, sits beside it. He surveys the cabin, a faint, almost imperceptible sense of peace settling on his face. He places his walking stick by the door, unshoulders his pack. Int. Cabin. Day 1. Sound of crackling fire. The interior is simple but well kept. A cot with a woolen blanket, a small wooden table, a single chair, a fireplace, shelves stocked with dried herbs, and simple provisions. On the table, a half-finished wood carving, a small, delicate bird. Elias lights a small fire in the hearth. The flames cast dancing shadows on his face, momentarily softening his features. Instead, his gaze drifts to a faded, creased photograph tucked into the cover. He boils water in a dented metal pot, makes a simple tea. He sits at the table, takes out a small, leather-bound journal. He sips his tea, staring into the flickering flames, lost in thought. He opens it, but doesn't write. It's of a beaming young Lily, around 7 years old, clutching a wildflower, her eyes full of life. A shadow crosses Elias's face. He closes the journal, places it carefully beside him. He seems to be in his element here, attuned to the rhythm of the forest. EXT. Forest. Late afternoon. Day 1. There's a subtle shimmer, a faint, sweet scent. Sound of birdsong, more active now as dusk approaches. Elias is foraging. He moves silently, expertly identifying various plants and mushrooms. He carries a woven basket. He stops abruptly. His eyes are drawn to a patch of vibrant, almost glowing, blue flowers near the base of an ancient, gnarled oak. They're unlike anything he's seen before. He kneels, gently touches a petal. Elias is slumped in a chair, his face etched with despair. Doctors and nurses move around, their faces grim. A quick, almost subliminal flashback. INT. Hospital room. Day. Flashback. Sound of beeping monitors. Hushed voices. A sterile, white room. A sheet covers a small, still form on a bed. The image is fleeting, jarring. Forest. Late afternoon. Day 1. Continued. Elias recoils slightly from the flower, as if burned. He stands, shakes his head as if to clear it. His hand clenches. He picks a single blue flower, carefully places it in his basket. He continues foraging, but his movements are less fluid now, more hesitant. He keeps glancing back at the patch of flowers, a strange mix of fascination and fear in his eyes. Scene 3. All pain, until only the quiet hum of life remains. I came here to be forgotten. To forget. Int. Cabin. Night. Day 1. Sound of crickets. Distant owl hoot. Elias sits by the fire, eating a simple meal. The blue flower sits on the table beside him, its glow almost imperceptible in the dim light, but undeniably there. He takes out the journal again. This time, he picks up a pencil. His hand hovers over the blank page. Elias, quiet, raw. They say the forest forgets, that it absorbs all sorrow. He starts to draw in the journal, a rough sketch of the glowing blue flower. As he draws, the image of young Lily reappears in his mind's eye. Flashback/vision. Sound of Lily's laughter. Young Lily, her face bright with joy, runs through a sun-dappled glade. She turns, her arms outstretched, beckoning Elias. He stares at it, a flicker of something new in his eyes. Curiosity? Hope. She holds up a brightly colored wildflower, just like the one in the photograph. Young Lily, look, Papa. A secret flower. Just for us. Elias smiles, a genuine, easy smile, one we haven't seen on him before. He reaches out to her. Int. Cabin night. Day 1. Continued. Elias's hand trembles. He stops drawing. He presses his fingers to his eyes, trying to push the memory away. But it lingers. He picks up the blue flower, holds it to the light. The glow seems to intensify slightly. Scene 4. EXT. Forest. Morning. Day 2. Sound of gentle rain. Dripping from leaves. The forest is quiet, shrouded in a soft mist. Elias is walking purposefully back towards the patch of blue flowers. He carries nothing but his walking stick. He finds them, their blue luminescence even more striking against the damp, gray backdrop. He kneels down, observes them closely. He runs his fingers over the damp soil around them. His expression is contemplative. Elias, I thought I could outrun it. Outrun the silence. The emptiness. But the forest has its own way of speaking. Its own memories. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, letting the cool, damp air fill his lungs. When he opens them, there's a newfound resolve. He begins to gently clear away some fallen leaves and twigs from around the flowers, as if tending to them. Forest. Various times of day. Day 2 and 3. Montage. Sound of varied forest sounds. Wind. Birds. Distant animal calls. A montage showing Elias's routine, but with subtle changes. Day 2. Midday. He's still foraging, but now he's humming a low, almost forgotten tune. His movements are a little lighter. Day 2. He sits by the river, skipping flat stones across the water. A faint, almost smile on his lips. He's back at the blue flowers. He sits near them for a long time, just watching. He seems to be listening to the forest more intently now. He's back at the cabin, carefully tending his small vegetable patch. He talks to the plants in a low murmur. He finishes the wood carving of the bird. It's delicate and lifelike. He places it on the windowsill. Forest, hidden clearing. Late afternoon. Day 3. Sound of wind through trees. Almost like a sigh, Elias finds himself drawn to a smaller, more secluded clearing, deeper than where the blue flowers grow. He hasn't been here before. In the center of the clearing, bathed in a shaft of golden afternoon light, stands a single, ancient, majestic tree. Its branches spread wide, its trunk massive and scarred. As he approaches, he notices something at the base of the tree. A small, carefully constructed cairn of smooth river stones. And on top of the cairn, a faded, slightly discolored, brightly colored wildflower, just like the one young Lily held in the photograph. Elias freezes. His breath catches in his throat. He slowly approaches the cairn, his eyes wide with disbelief. He reaches out a trembling hand, picks up the flower. It feels real, yet impossible. Elias, whispering Lily? Flashback/vision. Memory. Sound of Lily's laughter. Now clearer, closer. Young Lily is standing by the exact same tree, placing the wildflower on the ground. She turns to Elias, a younger, happier Elias. Young Lily, I found the very best tree, Papa. It's our secret spot. And this flower is our secret promise. We'll always find our way back, won't we? Younger Elias, always, my sweet girl. Always. EXT. Forest. Hidden clearing. Late afternoon. Day 3. Continued. Elias collapses to his knees by the cairn, clutching the faded wildflower. Tears stream down his weathered face. Not tears of despair, but of profound, aching memory. He allows himself to feel it all. The love, the loss, the promise. He looks up at the towering tree, then at the small, vibrant blue flower in his hand. He then looks at the faded wildflower from the cairn. 2 flowers. 2 memories. He slowly, deliberately, places the vibrant blue flower he had picked earlier from the other patch, next to the faded one on the cairn. A new promise, laid beside the old. He stands, his shoulders still slumped with grief, but there's a new light in his eyes. A recognition. The forest hadn't forgotten. It had remembered for him. Venant. Cabin night. Day 3. Sound of peaceful crackling fire. Crickets outside. Elias is back at the cabin. He sits at the table, his journal open. The light from the fire dances on his face. He picks up his pencil. This time, he doesn't hesitate. He begins to write. Elias, the forest doesn't forget. It holds. It heals. It reminded me that even in the deepest silence, love echoes. And promises, no matter how old, can still bloom. He writes for a long time. We see his hand moving steadily across the page. His steps are purposeful, lighter. Sound of morning bird song. Mist gently lifting. Elias steps out of the cabin. He wears the same clothes, but his posture is different. Straighter. His eyes are still deep, but the sadness is now mingled with a quiet strength, a sense of acceptance. He looks at the rising sun, the mist swirling gently through the trees. He takes a deep breath, and for the first time, truly smiles, a small, knowing, peaceful smile. He picks up his walking stick. He doesn't leave the forest. He walks deeper into it, not to escape, but to embrace. As he disappears into the trees, the camera holds on the cabin for a moment, then pans slowly towards the window. On the sill, beside the newly finished carved bird, sits the leather-bound journal.